encourage and empower you guys to take action. So what I wanted to talk about today was the power of identity, because identity is just very, very important. The funny thing about life is that we can never really rise above the perception that we hold of ourselves. You can never really supersede the beliefs that you have about yourself. And the funny thing about life as well is that for your life to improve, the first thing that must improve is you, right? For you to improve, what has to happen? You have to enlarge your capacity, and at the same time, you have to expand the beliefs that you hold about yourself. So your identity must expand also along with it. Because without that, you stay fixed. Because the perception you hold of yourself works like a thermostat. It just keeps you stuck. So like the purpose of a thermostat is to keep the temperature of a room fixed, right? So when you go to the thermostat, you turn it to 28 degrees. It makes sure that room stays at 28 degrees no matter what. So if I was to turn the heating up, and the temperature rose to 32 degrees, the thermostat would be like, it's getting too warm in here. And it'll turn the aircon on to blow out the extra hot air. And in the same way that if the aircon got overbearing and the temperature dropped down to like 20 degrees, the thermostat would turn the heating on to turn it right back up to 28. It keeps you fixed. And in the same way, we all have a particular temperature for our own lives, right? We all do. And we behave in a certain way because we remain in accordance to who we believe we are. That's what man's greatest need is, to behave in line with who they believe they are. So think about this. Like, if you guys have ever seen The Prince and the Pauper, it's just depicted so well. So for those of you guys who haven't seen it, I'll give you a quick recap. In short, what happens is that there are two kids who look exactly the same, pretty much. One's born in the village and one's born into royalty. And what happens is that they meet each other one day. So the poor kid's like, I want to see what it's like to live in the palace. The rich kid, the prince, is like, I want to see what it's like to live in the village. So they switch clothes and they switch positions. So the pauper starts living in the palace, the prince goes and lives in the village. And the crazy thing that happens is that both of them continue to act in accordance with who they believe they are, even though they're in different environments. Right, so the first thing that the pauper kid does is that he hides. So when people are coming, he hides. He's like, oh no, they're gonna find me. Right, he forgets that he's supposed to be the prince. Crazy, because the pauper in that palace was just a poor person with nice clothes. Literally, he's got all these people waiting on him, all these people looking to serve him and obey his every command. But he was still acting like a poor kid. He's still eating food with his hands. He's busy drinking the soup out of the bowl, right? He's still got that poor person's mentality. Whereas the prince, on the other hand, when he was in the village, he's busy going around ordering people. He's like, I command you to stop, right? Go get me a drink, right? He's still demanding things from people. The difference was because of the mentality that they had. That guy was a prince just in poor people's clothing, right? For our lives to change, there has to be a mental ascent. You have to change, which is why we've been doing these 21 days. I'm trying to get you guys to make a mental ascent. So this is the challenge for you guys. I want you guys, first of all, to write down what you want for your life. So literally write it down. Like, don't hold back the dreams, goals, everything that you want. Write it all down. Then next to that, I want you to write down the type of person you'd need to become to own all those things, to be able to have all those things, to experience those type of things. Because you must become more to have more. So write that down, and then I want you guys to write down the characteristics and the behaviors of the type of person who can have those things, and then act as if, because acting as if is very important, because you have to realize there's a connection between beliefs and behavior. The two go together, right? So if you tamper with one, if you tamper with your behavior, what often happens is that your beliefs also change along with it. You embody the type of person that you want to become. It's kind of like this, right? It's like, how does a coward become a courageous person? They do that by making courageous decisions at key moments. It's kind of like an anime. When you watch anime, you realize that you have this weak character who slowly grows and grows in confidence because he continues to expose himself to different experiences, and he overcomes them. So it's the same thing. I want you guys to embody who you want to become. So start acting that way, acting consistently, thinking that way, using the visualization techniques. And watch that video, the visualization one. It's really good, and that will help you out. So that's the video of the day, guys. You guys take care, and I'll be back again tomorrow for day 14.